A little sore here and there, but feeling wonderful.
Now, you mentioned in the post-bout interviews that you might have hurt your hands. Can you tell us how your hands are feeling? What's the update on that?
So it doesn't look like anything's broken. Obviously, there's still swelling, so it's kind of hard to tell, but I think we're okay as far as bones go. Just a little sore. Obviously, landed some hard shots, but Martin, didn't budge an inch until the very end. So, props to him on that. And yeah, hands took a little damage, but feeling great, man. If this is the price I got to pay, I'll do it every time.
You were a picture of calmness directly after that finish. A lot of people would have been super excited. You looked really calm. Can you tell us what was going through your head at that moment?
Don't get it twisted. I was definitely super excited, but a lot of emotions running through me at the time. A lot of thoughts, thinking about my family, thinking about my close friends, thinking about training partners and coaches that have put so much time into me as a fighter, how much I've dedicated my life to this, how much my wife has supported me through all this, my mom and my dad, and obviously my brother and my head corner, Sean Gayton, training partners like Ryan Hall, all these guys and endless amounts of training partners that have helped me train, obviously, but it's just so much built up into one point. I didn't want to let it all out because, I can't do an interview if I'm sobbing like a baby over this belt. So I got to hold it together a little bit, do some interviews, and then get back to the room and hug everybody and cry it out then.
I'm sure you're going to have a lot more interviews to come, man. Talk us through the fight. In the first and second round, you really utilized your movement really well, going to those side kicks, those long right hands, pivoting out, using lateral movement well. Was that part of the strategy to frustrate him? And could you feel like you were starting to frustrate him?
100%. He was definitely, I felt his frustration start to build and build. I felt his corner starting to push a sense of urgency after round one, after round two, to really push the pace and get in my face. And that's kind of the name of the game, right? So I like to beat you from the outside and use my feet, use my taekwondo movement all through my entire career. And then when you decide that you've had enough and you really want to step in and step to it and plant your feet, that's when you can get touched. And Martin did a really good job through the first couple of rounds of being frustrated, but not opening up so much to where it got him caught and hurt. And then at the very end, obviously, we saw what happened, and I got inside of his wider punches and ended up getting a good shot in. And then, once I see some hurt in you, it's like shark with blood, man.
Man, you truly are one of the absolute best at going in for the kill when you got someone hurt, man.
Yeah, I've been doing it since early in my career, and it's something I continue to develop and continue to, keep it reeled in until the time's right.
Speaking about that third round, it seemed like momentum was starting to shift a little bit towards Martin. Before you landed that right hand, could you feel that pressure? And tell us what you were thinking when Martin Nguyen was starting to pour that pressure on you.
Yeah, absolutely. You can only do that for so long, right? But I knew I just had to be safe throughout that. He obviously landed a couple of shots, but you got to make sure you don't take any of the big ones. And I took a lot of power off of those and moving with and moving my head and moving my feet. So you can't go in there expecting to fight a world champion like Martin and not get touched in the fight, right? I'd love to, but that's just not realistic. But he's going to do what a champion does. He's going to step up and really swing for the fences and get in my face and go and take that game plan and strategy that they were using, but to the higher level, because, the first two rounds he was down. So he started to really pour on the shots, landed a couple, and then the finish happened.
What was going through your head when you landed that right hand that hurt him?
Really just stay calm, get in his face, and let's finish this. Obviously, the calm part wasn't as calm as I wanted it to be, but the finish and the shots connected. I hit him on the way up, after we kind of did a little weird scramble deer on ice thing, both of us kind of hit the canvas. We got up. I hit him with a hard left as we were rising, and then the right hand just finished it. It was two really hard shots.
Yeah. He really has one of the biggest chins out there. You were hitting with all your biggest shots, and he was still staying up. Were you surprised at that?
Surprised, no, but yeah, I mean, you know, I hit this man hard and shrugged it off. He did a great job of being stoic and making sure that I didn't, or he tried not to let me know that, you know, the pain was there or that he felt it. But, you know, I'm really, really confident in my striking, in my contact, and the way I land shots. So none of that budged me, whether he looked like he was phased or not. It's just an accumulation of shots that you have no choice. You know, you're a human being. You're not a robot. So they're going to add up. And then when I do get a shot that you don't see, things like that happen.
Now, we also saw a little bit of jawing from both of you. Can you tell us a little bit of what you were saying to him and what he was saying to you?
Not a lot of talk, just, you know, a little bit as far as like swaying the judges. He just wanted to let the judges know that those kicks didn't affect him. And I checked a couple of kicks that I know felt pretty good on his foot and shin. So I wanted to let him know that he could throw those all day. And, you know, just a little competitive back and forth. I've got literally the utmost respect for Martin and his team. So you won't hear a lot of shit talking from me to anybody, but especially to a guy like that and a team like that who are such great, they hold themselves well. And I look to do the same while I'm champion. You know, I want to hold myself to a high standard and be an ideal champion and really, you know, if we've got guys that look up to champions in this world and looking as far as the sport goes, as kids go, looking up to the martial arts world, and we've got to set a tone for that.
Sorry. Is my connection here? You hear me good?
I can hear you now.
All right, my bad.
No problem.
Now, you spoke about this matchup and Martin potentially being the first of a trilogy. You still feel the same about that one?
You know, we had a definitive knockout, but yeah, I'm definitely open if you know, Martin fights another fight, and let's see how he does against some of the guys in the top 5 that are rising. And obviously he's going to do really well because Martin's Martin and he's a great fighter. I definitely look to see him again. And, you know, maybe we'll put it back to back and defend the title. Maybe we go to Vietnam and we do it again.
Before we go into the Vietnam part, Koyomi Matsushima and Gary Tonin were both scheduled to compete. What are your thoughts on them?
Great fighters, obviously. Dangerous fighters. It's going to be awesome to see Gary and Matsushima go at it. Obviously, Matsushima just fought for the title, and then Gary's number 5, raising through the ranks. That'll be a great matchup to see where they stand, and we'll see how that plays out. We'll see how the rematch with Martin plays out, and then we'll see who we go after next.
All 3 of them will be incredible bouts for sure. Now we got some questions from the Vietnamese media. I'm sure you're ready for this one. First question is, who do you want to share this victory with?
I mean, off the top of my head, obviously, my entire family, friends, training crew, the state of Louisiana, the country of the U.S., and obviously the Vietnamese people and the country of Vietnam. It's a lot of people that were paying attention to this. There's a lot of people that have stakes in this, and I think a big fight and the way it played out, how exciting it was, is only good for these countries, is only good for the company, and only good for the sport. And it's just really nice to do what I can and you know, put on a show for everybody and kind of bask in the happiness and the celebration of being a champion and being a world champion. And it's, you know, I'm still really taking it in. It's hard to put into words.
Second question here from the Vietnamese media. After this victory, what is your next plan? Do you want to defend the belt or challenge for the other belt, which I'm assuming is the lightweight belt?
Right. You know, we'll see what comes out. I'm going to sit down. We'll talk to the coaches. Christian had an awesome performance, so that's a very exciting fight for me to look at. He's a great fighter, so when I see things like that, when dominant performances, it makes me want to go in that direction, because that's why I do this sport, is to fight the best guys on the planet. That's what this belt gives me. It gives me the opportunity to fight the best guys on the planet. You go up in the ranks and you fight guys that are rising also. But really, once you get here, the reason I started this sport is to fight the best guys in the world, and this is what this opportunity is going to give me. And then we'll take a look and see what the biggest and hardest challenge that we think is for us next, and we'll go after that one. So no definite answer yet. Of course, we've got to sit down, talk to my coaches, talk to my team, talk to One Championship, and we'll figure out what the next move is.
Next question here from the Vietnamese media again. How did you feel at fight day? Did everything go towards your game plan?
Yeah. I mean, as far as leading up to the fight, it was the perfect day. Whether we get hiccups or not, it's just how you take it is really what makes the difference, right? And that's in training, that's in life, that's in relationships. I mean, you take things in stride and you make the best of any possible situation. And I try to do that in my life. But fight day was great. Got a lot of rest, got a good shakeout in the morning, a good sweat. Game plan was ironed to the T. Warm up in the back was wonderful. I was really feeling the music, really feeling, getting loose and relaxed and moving in the cage. And then the fight started and everything played out well. I think the way things were moving in the cage was really well. Y'all finally got to see a little bit of my movement and my left to right and how we play with our feints and our hezzies and all of this stuff. So it was nice to be able to at least show the fans a little bit of what I got. You still haven't seen 90% of me, but at least you got to see that 10%. But these fights are, this one was longer, obviously, which was great. And I wanted it to go long. The other fights were a little shorter, so it was hard to kind of see the real time lead. So I was happy to be able to show you guys a little more and more. And then as more opponents come and more fights happen, you'll see more and more of me.
Question here again from the Vietnamese media. Do you have any words for your Vietnamese fans? And do you want to defend your title in Vietnam?
100%, 1000%. Yes. I want you guys to reach out, talk to the social media, talk to One Championship, make this fight happen. It's up to you guys. Go out there, make the noise, be heard that you want to see a Vietnamese fighter, a Vietnamese champion in Vietnam defending the belt, so you guys can come watch. And so you guys can come see the excitement in person and experience a One Championship event yourself. So get out there, make it known, make some noise, and really make this happen.
That would be incredible. There's some Vietnamese stars already. Yourself, Martin Nguyen, you got Killer B, Nguyen Tran doing that. That would be an incredible event, and I hope that comes through.
Absolutely. That's a ton. I mean, that list of fighters, it's a killer's row of fighters, and you can make an entire card out of that. So absolutely, let's do it.
Speaking about that, are you in any kind of relationship with any of these Vietnamese athletes? Do you speak to them?
I've spoken to Killer B a little bit, just as far as fights and trainings and events go, but looking to build a closer relationship with these guys. I'd love to set up some kind of meeting or training in Vietnam at one of the big gyms, and we can do shit. We can do seminar tours. We can do anything. Just get some training together and kind of get to know one another and really share our sides of the sport and our values, and share that with the Vietnamese people.
Sorry, a couple more questions here before we let you go.
Problem.
When that belt was strapped on to your waist, what was your immediate first thought?
Finally, I think. I've been a world champion for the longest. My team has known that. My training partners have known that, but nobody else knows that, right? Everybody has that same little experience when they're coming up in the ranks and they're fighting for a title. And everybody says this, it's just a lifetime of hard work, giving up, you know, you're making sacrifices, you're missing events, you're missing family things, you're missing out on the things that you don't get to take part in because you're busy honing your craft and being the best you could possibly be. So we're weighing out the risks and rewards to that. And we try to handle it, you know, in a smart way and handle that work-life balance. But you dedicate everything in your entire life to finally get to this final point, and you're successful. I mean, tears, and that's thing running through my head.
Yeah, that's a lifetime of martial arts coming to fruition, but your journey is still just at its beginning. Can't wait to see your reign as a champion.